good life, so to speak. What do you say to somebody who listens to your story or maybe picks up your book, A Dream So Big, and says, hey, that's good, but I could never do that. I've got kids. I can't take my kids out of what they have here in America and take them to some place like, we used to say deepest, darkest Africa. I mean, we have all these stereotypes. So, Steve, what do you say to somebody who says, hey, it's good for you, but I could never do that?
Well, I'd be very empathetic because I was certainly one of those people. I just encourage people, what we're after is obedience to the Lord. And at the end of the day, what's best for your kids is being where God has you to be. And if that's Africa, that'll be a great place for your kids. If it's to stay in America, that's where you should be. But I would just pull it back to just what we want to do is obey the Lord. And he's called different people to do different things.
What, tell us about, you have one or two or three memories over how many years were you there?
I've been there 14 years, and I go back Sunday.
Okay, 14 years, and it continues. Can you give us one or maybe two or three stories about individual children that, will sort of personalize your work to us?
Yeah, well, I was going to a school one day, and I got there late because there were a bunch of giraffe migrating.
A bunch of what? A bunch of Jeffs.
They're migrating, and you just don't rush a giraffe. They're going to elope at their own speed. So
no, you don't see that at your average American school. You don't see you don't see giraffes roaming through the through the playground there. I got you.
So when I got to the school, I needed to use the facility, and I asked the headmaster, "Where's your bathroom?" And he said, "The long drop is there, but I will need to go in there with you." And I said, "Well, Americans used to be imperialists, and we want everybody to be a white guy from Texas, and we've been trained as missionaries to kind of cut that kind of stuff out. So we got the little speech where we say, while we rejoice in your culture and celebrate our differences, hey, where I come from, we pee-pee by ourselves." And the guy says, "You don't understand. There's a nest of black mambas in there. I will go in there with a stick to make sure they do not strike you."
Black mambas.
While you go to the bathroom.
Black mambas are some of the most poisonous snakes in the world, right?
Yeah, and he's going with the stake on, "Poof, poof, are you done? Poof, poof, are you done?" And man, that's performing under pressure. But I got out of that, and I was going over to the computer center after that, and there was a young Maasai boy, and they still live in mud huts, never owned a pair of shoes, and he goes, "I got a problem." I go, "What?" He goes, "Well, look at the spreadsheet I got." So I'm looking. He said, "Well, I have 20 macros in the spreadsheet, but when I added the 21st, it didn't work anymore. What should I do?" And I said, "I got news for you. If I put 2 macros in the spreadsheet, it doesn't work. Get out of here. You know more than I do." And that was real heartening to me that they were catching it so fast. And so he's kind of stayed special to me over the years, and he's done well, and he's actually working at Deloitte and Touche, and they're paying for him to go to university, but he does a lot of their access programming. The second computer center we built, a little girl came up to me and said, "What is this going to be?" I said, "It's where you're going to learn how to use a computer." And she got real quiet, and she looked at me, and she said, "I never had a dream so big." And I'm proud to tell you that it was Beth, and Beth now types 75 words a minute. And she's good on computers. And so it's just been fun to see them take off with it.
Wow. Talking to Steve Peifer. Steve and his wife are missionaries in Kenya. They left, it was sudden, and stunning, in the way of the world's eyes, transition from being. How many people were you overseeing? 9,000 people?
Yeah.
Something like
I mean,
that?
I was director of traffic, really.
At Oracle?
Consultants are, at Oracle Corporation.
Yeah, and so he's got this job, great job, moving up the corporate ladder, overseeing so many people, making a good living, income, and then God just basically picks him up and transports he and his family to Kenya in a matter of a year or two, and then there they are, and been there ever since. 13 years, been there serving the Lord and doing missionary work, basically helping train young children and helping them meet their physical needs. The book is titled "A Dream So Big: Our Unlikely Journey to End the Tears of Hunger." You know, Steve, this is one of the things I get a little frustrated, more than a little frustrated, is that when the media, especially in the West now, just continually bashing Christians and Christianity, and it just seems like, everywhere you go in the world, where people can be reached with physical help, clothing, food, school, hospitals, those kinds of things, it seems like it's the Christians from America. You know what I'm saying? Who are there helping people around the world, and for no selfish reason. And it's just like, I don't know why that is exactly, but I know that if not for Christianity and for Christians around the world, as I mentioned, helping people, there would be millions and millions of people who don't have access to the kinds of things that, like you and your wife, help provide there in Africa.
Well, it is funny how it's always negative, but the other side of it is, I won an award a couple of years ago on CNN.
I saw that. Mm-hmm.
And they let me give a speech, and they made me submit the speech, and at the end, I was supposed to thank everybody, and I said, and in the end, I mostly want to thank Jesus. And they didn't bat an eye. And I didn't know what a secular network might do, but they were saying, go for it.
Yeah. Well,
so I understand what you're saying about media, and I concur with you, but I was very grateful that they let me.
Hey, Steve, we're out of time. What's the website?
It's KenyaKidsCan.org.
KenyaKidsCan, CAN.org. Great story, Steve. Thanks for being with us, my friend. We wish you all the best.
Hey, thank you. God bless y'all.